Over the past few months, as I've been on this retro gaming journey, I have fallen in love with both Evercade and Neo Geo. Now, on the surface, these would seem to cater to very different audiences. Evercade is a retro gaming ecosystem built to give consumers an affordable and accessible entry point to the world of retro gaming. Neo Geo is a premium gaming experience demanding high prices for the new AES Plus and the re-released cartridges, as well as even higher prices for original hardware and original software. Despite these differences, my two loves cross paths a lot, especially when it comes to the excellent Neo Geo collections that have been put out by Evercade over the past year or so. Hi, I'm Paul, and this is Indie Pop Productions, pop culture from an independent point of view. And this is Neo Geo's Arcade 4 collection. Past Neo Geo carts for Evercade have come packed with 6 Neo Geo classics each. But the new 4th collection ups that number to 8, and increasing the number did not decrease the quality. All of the classics and big names you would expect are still here. Metal Slug, Fatal Fury, King of Monsters, and King of Fighters all have entries in this collection, along with a collection of games that haven't pushed quite so far into the mainstream. An argument can be made that Neo Geo on Evercade is not the true Neo Geo experience, that it is simple emulation on simple hardware. That is a valid argument. But you could also argue that a cartridge that comes packed with 6 to 8 Neo Geo games, as well as quality of life improvements like the ability to switch back and forth between the AES and MVS versions and save states for $30 a pop, has merit too. And yes, I am aware that the upcoming AES Plus will also have some of these quality of life improvements, but not at $30 a pop. So you can watch this video one of two ways. If you are interested in gaming on Evercade, this is just a fun review of the 8 games included on one of Evercade's 2 newest carts. I don't have Activision Collection 3 yet because money. If you are a Neo Geo fan, binge watching Neo Geo content while impatiently waiting for the AES Plus to release, think of this as a celebration of future games that we might get in later waves of game reproductions. I was originally going to break these games up into 2 categories. Games that are going to be included in the first wave of reproduction carts, and games that aren't. But then I realized only one of these games is going to be included in that first wave of reproductions for the AES Plus. So I have ranked these titles by how excited I personally would be to find them in a hypothetical wave 2. Before we get started, if you enjoy this kind of content, don't forget to like and subscribe. I try to drop a retro gaming related video at least once per week. Making sure you like and subscribe not only helps other people find the channel, but also make sure you see when my next video drops. Now, let's go play some games. King of Fighters 2002 is the one game from Evercade's Neo Geo Arcade 4 collection that will be in the first wave of reproduction carts when the Neo Geo AES Plus releases this November. It is a highly anticipated title, and even on a system known for amazing fighting games, this is one of the best. The roster is stacked. And of the fighting games I tried in this collection, this is the one that felt the most natural. The main mode is 3v3, but not the tag team version we're used to these days. You play each character until they run out of health. Last team standing wins. I'm new to the franchise, having been more of a Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat guy back in the 90s, but it didn't take long to see why this was so popular. I just need to spend some more time here learning the moves instead of button mashing. 3-count bout. I have to admit a little bias. I don't like and am not good at sports games. And while wrestling games may look like fighters, at their core, they are sports games. The moves are different from fighting games, the rules are different, the strategies are different. That's not to say they are inferior, I just don't like them. And due to that personal bias, 3-count bout is my least favorite game on Neo Geo Arcade Collection 4. And the one I would be the least excited to see get a re-release for the AES Plus. Next we have Metal Slug 4. You might be surprised by how far down the 4th Metal Slug entry is on my list. It's not a bad game, it's not a game I don't personally enjoy. It's a Metal Slug, it's a blast. The problem is, it's Metal Slug 4. We're already getting the original for the AES Plus. If SNK and PlayOn put out a second wave of re-releases for the AES Plus and included Metal Slug 4, I'd be disappointed to say the least. You gotta give me Metal Slug 2 or Metal Slug X first. On its own merit, this is one of the most fun games on Neo Geo Arcade 4. Save the hostages, kill the bad guys, frantic fighting, crazy power-ups, everything that makes this series special. It's just not quite as good as its older brothers, plain and simple. Baseball Stars 2. We have already established that I do not like and am not good at sports games. If I can make the argument that wrestling games are really sports games, not fighting games, there's no way to argue that a baseball game isn't a sports game. So someone please explain to me why I had to pry myself away from this one. All I can tell you is Baseball Stars 2 is just over-the-top arcade fun. Your focus is almost entirely on pitching and batting, less about strategy. I can see how if you get good enough, this can become a home run derby. I mean, if I could hit a home run, anyone can. To my own surprise, yeah, I'd consider buying this one for the AES Plus. If wrestling games are sports games disguised as fighting games, King of Monsters is a wrestling game disguised as a monster game. Looks like Rampage, plays like WWE. So how did this end up so high on my list? Heck, I even considered ranking it higher. This game is so ridiculous, I don't see how you could not love it. You pick your kaiju and enter a city/wrestling ring. Like in Rampage, the environment is destructible, but the similarities end there. The moves themselves are more similar to 3-count bout, but more fluid and natural. I'm still not great at it, and it's going to take some practice to learn all of the moves, but this is a great addition to Neo Geo Arcade 4 for Evercade, and I think it would be a hit for the AES Plus. King of Fighters Special. I went into this collection fully expecting this to be my favorite game, and my biggest hope to be included in a future wave of AES Plus releases. It would be an overstatement to say I was disappointed, but there are just better fighting games, both on Neo Geo for Evercade and for AES Plus. Don't get me wrong, King of Fighters Special is still my third favorite game in this collection. Not too shabby, but not the top spot I expected it to be either. It felt a little clunky after playing King of Fighters 2002. The gimmick of being able to swap from foreground to background was more distracting than useful, and the controls weren't as intuitive as other fighting games. If there is a second wave of re-release games for the AES Plus, a Fatal Fury title is almost a requirement, but I wouldn't be quite as excited to see this one as I would have expected. Granted, I might feel differently if I learned the moves instead of button mashing. Robo Army. I truly did not expect to have that much fun with this game. I think it's just been too long since I've spent enough time with an old school side-scrolling beat-em-up. This screams 90s more than anything else in this collection. You play a good robot fighting bad robots, including bad robot dogs, birds, etc. And for some reason, you occasionally turn into a car and just run over everybody. Fun graphics, weird cutscenes, it's silly, it's mindless. It's everything I used to love about this genre. And if it comes out in wave 2 of re-releases for the AES Plus, I am there day one. Check this one out. My favorite game in Evercade's Neo Geo 4 collection, and the one I'd be most excited to see on the AES Plus, is Blazing Star. Not what I expected, but not terribly shocking. I love side-scrolling shooters. Blazing Star was a spiritual successor to Polestar, but where Polestar was brutally punishing, Blazing Star is a bit more forgiving. So you know, Polestar for me. Fast-paced action, great graphics, crazy-looking enemies, constant power-ups. This was a blast to play. Being one of the first games on the card, I had to tear myself away from it just so I could finish this video. This game alone would have been worth the price of the collection, and if they re-release it for the AES Plus, it'll be worth that price as well. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go finish this video so I can get back to playing Blazing Star. Some great games, and it really does point to a bright future for both fans of Evercade and Neo Geo. It is the perfect time to be a fan of retro gaming, but I'd love to hear from you. What is your favorite game on Neo Geo Arcade 4? What would you most like to see get a release for the AES Plus? And with a 5th Neo Geo cart for Evercade coming out probably later this year, what games are you hoping will be included? Thank you for watching, especially those that made it all the way to the end. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Liking and subscribing and even commenting and sharing really does help the channel grow. And as always, I'll see you next time.